Hi there, I'm Kathy Barker from Software Solutions, and let's have a look at how Copilot in Microsoft Teams could be helpful with regards to meetings. What I want to look at first of all is the preparation before a meeting. So I've gone to Teams and I'm sitting in the chat part of Teams. I've also clicked the Copilot button at the top here, and I'm about to ask Copilot some questions in order to prepare for a meeting. First thing I'm going to ask is who is in the Software Solutions team. I have a team called Software Solutions team, and I want to know who's in that team because I want to check that everybody I want to invite to this meeting is in that team. So that's my first question, and then I simply press enter. I'm given a rundown of who is in the team, and I'm happy with those that are in the team. Now my next question, what are the available time slots for next week? So here I can see what time I have available next week to help me plan for my meeting. My next prompt is schedule a meeting with the Software Solutions team for an afternoon next week. Now one thing that Copilot can't do at the moment is it can't actually schedule a meeting directly. This hopefully will be something it can do in the future, but at the moment it can help me just with the information I need or the details I need for scheduling a meeting. So that might be helpful, some of the few prompts that you could use to help organise a meeting. So now let me go about create a meeting with the Software Solutions team in the afternoon next week. So I'm going to go for the afternoon of the 1st of October. So I'll click here and I'll add my details. When it comes to creating a meeting, it really does pay to turn your transcription on. If you turn your transcription on, then a record of what was actually said in the meeting is transcribed, and Copilot can then use that transcript to create useful summary information, action items, key points following that meeting. So I highly recommend that you go to more options, that you go to recording and transcription, and that you tell it to automatically record and transcribe. Though you can turn this on when you're in the meeting, but I actually like to turn mine on automatically so I don't forget. If you choose transcription, then Copilot will always be able to be used after the meeting. So I'm going to click Save. The next thing I'll use Copilot for, and Microsoft Loop, is to add an agenda. So I'm going to click here. This is a loop component, a Microsoft Loop component, which means that people will be able to read the agenda. You'll actually be able to copy this component, put it into other documentation, and people will also be able to collaborate and edit this component real time. All right, so I'm ready to put my agenda together. First of all, I might mention my name, and my task will be to introduce members to each other. Following that, I'm going to ask a certain person to read the minutes from the last meeting. The next thing I'm going to do is actually discuss or brainstorm how we can attract more customers to our new website. Now, this is something I might ask Copilot to help me break down. So what I'm now going to do is click this button here, which will allow me to ask Copilot to draft some content. I'm going to click Brainstorm, and I'm going to ask it to brainstorm strategies to attract new customers to our new website. Enter. And here we have 10 topics put together by Copilot, which will help us brainstorm how we can attract more customers to our website. Now we are pressed for time, so let's say that we really can't cover all 10 topics. So I'm actually going to ask Copilot to rewrite this to 4 key points. And here are the 4 key points that I want us to review in the meeting. What happens here is I can click on this draft to see the 10 points, click on this draft, and I can see the 4 points. Every time you click one of these options, you move between the various drafts, which you can copy and you can undo. But I'm happy with this, so I'm going to hit X. Now, in order for us to do this, I think I need to create some meeting notes about what search engine optimization is all about. So, search engine optimization, background reading. And now I'm going to ask Copilot to put together some notes about search engine optimization. So I'll hit this button here. I've asked it to describe the key points to consider when setting up website SEO. And here it is here. I could rewrite this if I wanted to. I could say make it longer, make it shorter, make the tone more professional, more casual, whatever I'd like to refine. But I'm happy with the content, so I'm going to hit the X. And there are my meeting notes. And I've created my agenda with the use of Microsoft Loop and with the use of Copilot. I'll send my meeting request. So what can you do with Microsoft Teams and Copilot during a meeting? As soon as I join the meeting, this little prompt here says that the meeting has been set to record and transcribe automatically, which is what we set up in the meeting options. So I can close this. But if I actually want to manage my transcribing and recording, I can go into the More button and into Record and Transcribe, and I can stop recording. I can also stop transcribing the words that are said in the meeting. Or I could show the transcript. And so here's the transcript showing here as I'm talking. So as different members of the meeting talk, the transcribe is being written. And Copilot will use that to give you action items, key points, things like that. So let me just close this for the moment. It's a bit distracting. Now when you join a meeting, you'll notice there's a Copilot button at the top here. So I'll click this to open up the Copilot chat pane. If I'm late to the meeting, I can say things like recap the meeting so far. And so it will quickly bring me up to speed with what's been said in the meeting. You'll notice some numbered points here as well, where it will actually take you to that point in the transcription where that was said. I can do things like list main ideas we discussed, or highlights from the meeting chat. As the meeting progresses, more information is gathered, and when you ask questions of Copilot, more information and output is going to be given. You can ask it to list different perspectives of a particular topic, or what questions are unresolved, or you can ask it to suggest any follow-up questions. All sorts of questions can be typed during the meeting, and the answers that Copilot will give you are derived from the transcript as the meeting occurs. It's what we call real-time transcription. If you click More Prompts, you'll see that you can get a list of suggestions, such as recap the meeting so far, list action items, suggest follow-up questions, what questions are unresolved, list different perspectives to the topic, list main ideas we've discussed, generate meeting notes, and highlight from meeting chat. So generate meeting notes could be quite handy as well. And you'll notice at the top of all responses from Copilot is a copy button, which means that you can copy that information and paste it either into a Word document, into any other place that you need to, into a chat, anywhere else. To wrap up the meeting, you could ask Copilot to give you a clear list of the next steps. So think of the power that Copilot gives you in terms of summarizing and detailing and highlighting what's been said in the meeting so far. Now, after the meeting, what can Copilot do for us in Microsoft Teams? I've just completed my meeting, and thankfully I turned the transcribe on. So I've got a recording and a transcript that goes with my meeting. And if I go to chat, I can see under my recent meetings. And if I use this particular example, I can go into View Recap. And if I go into View Recap, here is the recording and also the transcript that goes with that particular meeting. Now what's useful is in the top right corner here, we have the Copilot button. And in the Copilot task pane, we can ask questions. For example, I can ask questions such suggest follow-up questions following the meeting. And here they are here. Another question I might ask, following the meeting, list action items. And Copilot puts that together. Another question that you might ask after a meeting could be, generate meeting notes. You can ask Copilot to do a multitude of things after a meeting because you have that recording or that transcript. Each of these items that I've asked for, there's a copy button in the top right corner, so I could copy that information and use it and paste it into whatever app for whatever purpose I chose. Now, besides the prompts I've been giving you as examples, down here we've got more prompts. Recap the meeting, list action items, suggest follow-up questions, what questions were unresolved, list different perspectives by topic, list main ideas we discuss, generate meeting notes, and highlights from the meeting chat are examples or suggestions of prompts you could use after a meeting. Besides the transcript, which you can download, as you can see here, as a Word document or a VTT, and you can also delete the transcript. But because you've got a recording here as well that you could play, you can open the recording because it's a video in Stream. Microsoft Stream is Microsoft's video management program. And here's the recording, which I could click play, or I could fire up Copilot on the right hand side here and start asking questions about this video, or any video for that matter. Again, I could recap the meeting or list action items, or show me parts where something happened in the meeting. I've got a couple of suggestions here, but I've also got some view prompts here. Prompts that are with regards to understanding the meeting. Recap the meeting, list action items, suggest follow-up questions, list main ideas and generate meetings notes. But if I go back, I can also ask questions like show me the parts where, or tell me more about, or write a bulleted list for. So Microsoft Stream is Microsoft's video management app, and you can use Copilot in Stream. If I close Stream and go back to my transcript, you can also use Copilot with the transcript itself. Very powerful. To give you examples of the types of prompts I would use after a meeting, it would be give me highlights from the meeting chat. What questions were asked, answered, and unresolved? What was the mood of the meeting? Summarize what people said in a less technical way. Why did a certain person say that this idea was a good one? For each person that participated, what was their biggest concern and what were they most excited about? What ideas did a certain person have that I can share with the product team? Or I could ask it to draft an email to the meeting participants that summarize the meeting and includes any action items. This is a very powerful tool to use after your meeting. I hope you've enjoyed some of the ideas in this video. Ka kite. My name is Kathy Barker.